Bring the noise, bring the excitement. Let's get it on, baby. Let's get it on. Yeah, baby. Yeah. Good evening to each and every one of you. Welcome to another rendition, if you will, of Music Lovers LTD. Friday Night Live podcast. Here we are. I don't know why DD is looking so sad, but this is a great time here. This is a good time.
It's my allergies. They've been kicking up this week.
Is that what it is? Okay,
yes.
Okay. We're going to put you in touch with our special guest, and she's going to send you some goodies over there to pick all of that up. You know what I mean? Our special guest tonight, and this is a different show, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm very happy, and so is the rest of the gang, to be bringing it to you. And I say different because we've been not digging up, that's not really the correct term, but we've been looking up artists who have made their names and some great songs, and like Bloodstone, and we have actors here like Lawrence Hilton Jacobs. Those are the type of people that we've had. Tonight is different. We have a brand new artist, and this young lady has been around for a minute or two, but she's brand new to my good friend, Mr. George Kerr. Brand new to him. And you guys know how I feel about George Kerr. You know how we feel about George Kerr. Responsible for people like Linda Jones, The Moments, Ray Goodman and Brown, the escorts that came out of Rahway Prison, and the list goes on and on and on and on. This guy is a master when it comes to producing and writing and putting people together. Well, now under his tutelage is this young lady called Leger. And we're gonna, first of all, let's give her a nice round of applause for joining us. Good evening to you, my dear.
Hey, how are you guys?
We're doing well. We're doing well. I'll let everybody answer for themselves, but it's great to have you here. And I was very, very impressed when George called me and told me about it, and actually sent me and sent all of us, after he sent it to me and I sent it to everybody else, the song that we're going to hear tonight, that we're talking about, Ohh Baby Baby, Smokey Robinson's and the Miracle song. So I was very impressed with it, and I sent it to the group. George asked me to send it to the group to find out their feedback. We are very privileged to be first on board when it comes to hearing George's music that he's putting out with his new label, What's Old Is New. And that's a great, great title. Great title. So we're very blessed to be in a position to hear it and put a stamp on it, either yes or no, a hand on it, some kind of way, before he releases it out to the public. That's a wonderful thing that we're in, and we love him for that. But tell us, if you will, how you got started and how you met George and got in touch with George to get this thing going on here. Tell us that.
Well, I got started, honestly, just writing, and a couple of people wanted me to write for them. That was when I was a teenager. And from then, music has just been a big thing. My mother was always into music. She listened to music from everywhere. So it really sparked my love. And once I got bit by the bug of being on stage, because I was a ball of energy, boy. I was a ball of energy back then.
Okay.
So, once I saw that, me jumping off the stage and clowning around and, just being regular old me just could get me somewhere. I was like, this might be up my alley.
Okay.
But I've done a song with a magnificent rapper, Dynamax Roberts. His family has some merit in the game of hip hop as well. And I did a track with him, and George got a hold of me, and that's been that. We did 2 songs, and we plan on doing a few more, and we're just seeing where we can go from there.
Okay. Well, congratulations on what we've heard, and everybody has heard it. We're going to hear it again tonight and let the audience and the viewers hear it as well. But congratulations on you going forward. Now, you said that this all happened when you were a teenager. Is that what you said?
Yeah, I've been doing this since I was a teenager.
Well, Are you older than a teenager now?
Yes. Much
Can you give a
older.
number?
All right, I'm going to step back and allow the rest of the group to come in. Come on in, DD.
Good evening. Now you say you started. You started when you was in high school.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what else? I mean, you just sang. That's all you just
No.
sang?
I started out rapping first. Yeah. It seemed to catch fire because it was like, oh, she cute. And then, you know, I like to read. And then for a long time when I was younger, it was my thing to like pick words out the dictionary. So I used to just come up with a bunch of crazy things and just shoot them at them. And they loved it. And I loved it. And since then, you know, I kind of created this whole air about myself, like a pretty beast, you know, and they loved it. I loved it. And we just kept it moving from there.
Okay. Good question, DD. Come on in, Drew.
Hey, Mr. J, pleasure to meet you. That your rendition is quite impressive. Let me say that right off the bat. Why did you choose that particular song out of Smokey's? Smokey has a vast catalog, and I'm just wondering what your mindset choosing that song, or was that Mr. Kerr's idea, or both?
Every song that you've heard was Mr. Kerr's idea. When he came to me, I had never done any kind of renditions of any songs. I just wrote my own, and that's what I performed, and that's what I put out. So when he came to me with the idea, I was about the challenge. I was about the challenge because, you know, I'm no spring chicken. You know, I look it, but I'm not. You know, some music, some things you kind of don't want to touch, you know, because of how big they were. And the backlash that could come from it, possibly, you know, people, they like to pick those kind of songs apart and see, you know, what the meat and bones really are to it. But I was up for the challenge, and me, I've always been a female. I like to stack my vocals. I like background vocals. I like to play around with sounds. You know, I like to create a musical garden, if you will.
Yeah.
So once I got to it, and you know, I asked him, I'm like, would you be opposed if I just added my little flair onto it? And he was not opposed at all, and it ended up being a really good collaboration.
Yeah.
Good question, Drew. Very good question. I had that in the back of my mind, but that's a good question. Good question. Come on in, Professor.
How you doing?
Hey.
Who are the artists or albums that first inspired you to start making your own music?
Honestly, coming up, my generation, you know, we had the Brandies that were just coming out, you know, when I was younger. We had the Monica, you know, we had a lot of people who could do amazing things with their vocals, Brandy being one of them. But Mariah Carey was a big one for me just because of her range. At the time, when I was really trying to, you know, take my music way more seriously, I had a vocal coach, and he pushed me. His name was Leander Phelps, and he pushed me to really stretch my vocal range back then. And I was hitting almost every key on that keyboard. So people like Mariah Carey, Barbara Weathers, of course, Whitney Houston. Whitney Houston was a big one for me. Like I said, Brandy was another one to me because her range and just how, you know, she can go from head voice to chest voice, you know, to you know, making it very airy and breathy. It was just amazing. Her transitions are just amazing. So there's quite a few people, but those would be my top. Barbara Weathers was the one for me, especially growing up. You know, she came out with the "Don't look around, 'cause you've already found me a Bobby." Oh yes. Barbara Weathers, baby, Barbara Weathers.
Okay. All right. Listen, you can drop any of those anytime you get ready, babe. No problem. You know? Listen, let me something. Good question there, Professor. Which and what I try to do is I listen to the artists talk about whatever it is they're talking about. Our listeners and our watchers may or may not know the difference between what you just said about being breathy, and from the chest. Would you kindly explain that? Give us some detail on that. What that means, please.
More breathy, you want to sound like there's more air. You want it to sound more soft. If you're doing a soft ballad, you want those transitions to be airy and light and fluffy, if you will. More chest voice gives you more robust. You get a lot of chest voice from Jasmine Sullivan. Jasmine Sullivan lives in her chest voice. Now she can hit different ranges and she can transition, into some head voice, but she stays in her chest voice,
Okay.
And then your head voice, you really want a clear sound, but you want it to be more top, if you will. I don't even know how to explain that, but you want
not nasal, not nasal.
Not nasal.
Yes.
Nasal is something whole else. That comes with
Right.
The only time you really want to use your nasal too much is in transition for your M's, your N's, and things like that, which can get tricky sometimes, especially with breath support. But those are the differences, and it's not easy to transition a lot of the time. So it has to take some training and some practice, because it feels weird a lot of the time. Transitioning, from different ranges, from different registers. But
well, thank you for explaining that, because sometimes when we're talking, we assume that everybody knows what you're talking about, and there are some people obviously who do not. And I thank you for explaining that. Question: did you know who Smokey Robinson was and about his song when George presented this to you?
I did, and that was the reason. I wanted to know if he was sure. It was one of those records that, like I said, there's some records you're iffy about if you want to touch them or not. But with Mr. Kerr's background, I didn't have any problem. If he felt like it was something that I could touch and it possibly be, a blessing on a whole other end of the spectrum, then I was going to take the challenge and I was going to run with it.
Okay. All right. Drew, you got something else, bro?
So you're from Omaha, Nebraska, the home of Terrence Bud Crawford.
Come on,
Congratulations. Hey, Lejay, can you describe the music scene in Omaha, in the Midwest, from your perspective?
Okay,
Have you performed? I'm assuming you performed, in that area.
Yeah. Okay. So here's the thing about Omaha, Nebraska. Omaha, Nebraska is growing to be a bigger city, but Omaha, Nebraska, I swear, has some of the most original and talented people you will ever meet. It is an untapped music mecca here, and it just doesn't get enough attention. It just doesn't get enough attention. And yes, we have amazing, crazy talented people here. But a lot of them, they get other places and get drowned out for one reason or another. But
well, you're not too far from Chicago and Detroit, so
and we have some really good music artists that are actually, doing some things. We have Chink Diamond. She has been working really hard. She's been pushing really hard, and she actually got her debut on Love and Hip Hop not too long ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. So music scene, we have really good people that come out of here. It just takes, people hear Omaha, Nebraska, and they don't give another thought to it. And sometimes you gotta let the talent precede you, but it's kind of hard when it's wrapped in Omaha, Nebraska.
Right.
So it's more than sports country, because I know out in the Midwest, got crazy football fans out there in the college ranks. So it's interesting to hear, about some music coming out from that part of the Midwest.
Yeah, we also have a lot of actors and actresses that come out of here. Well, quite a few.
Really?
Yeah, Gabrielle Union from Omaha.
Okay.
Beg your pardon?
Gabrielle Union.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Then we got Malcolm X that came out of Omaha, Nebraska.
I took the words right out of my mouth. Okay.
We got a good stock up in here.
All right.
Great.
All
That's
right.
great.
Good question. Good
Awesome.
question, Drew. Come on in, DD.
Now, what is your favorite genre to perform? You know, said you do hip hop, R&B, spoken words. What is your favorite?
Good question.
Oh shoot.
Honestly, I like rap more. I'm not even gonna lie. I like rap more. I feel like it gives me more to play with. So hip hop, if you will, not even just rap. Just we're gonna round it out to hip hop because I like being able to play with it. I like being able to jump back and forth between, you know, doing some vocals here and there, you know, and then jumping right into, you know, a lyrical verse that, you know, make somebody just think, you know what I mean, and just throw people off the whole completely. So hip hop to me is something that gives me something that not any other genre has given me, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. It's interesting. That's a good question, DD. It is very interesting.
Yeah, that was a good
I'm
question.
gonna reserve my comment, but I that's a very interesting statement that you just made. Yeah, that's a good
Yeah.
question, DD. Very good question. I was a little torn when I read your bio where you were, you know what I'm saying, or where, and DD just hit it by saying what's your favorite, and you answering that. Of course, that very very. I'm going to save the rest of the Kool-Aid for later on. You know what I mean? That's what, come on in, Professor.
Before I ask my question, I want to piggyback on that part about the breathiness and the vocal stylings. I don't know if you've ever heard of a woman named Phoebe Snow.
Ooh.
Have you?
Oh,
No.
oh.
Look, I can tell by the rest of you. I probably should have.
Well, look
Yeah.
her up.
Google
Listen
her.
to some of her stuff, and I think you'll feel that.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
think you'll feel that.
Phoebe
She
Snow.
was
She
amazing.
was a tremendous
Octave
performer.
range.
Yes, tremendous performer.
Oh,
Tremendous
That's a great
performer.
suggestion, Professor.
Yeah.
Now,
Now I
my
understand you
question-
do some things or have done some things or are inspiring to do some stuff with Candy State about Candy Staten or from Candy Staten. Is that correct?
from Candy State.
Yeah, Candy Staten. Yeah.
Where you hear that at?
I thought that was in your bio. I thought I read it in your bio actually, and I think that George might have leaked that to me a little bit.
I don't know if you read that in my bio.
Okay, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. I
Or her
thought I
son.
did, but maybe I'm wrong. No, I'm not wrong. It's right here. It says Delphonics, Candy Staten, Phyllis Hyman, and Keith Sweat.
In my bio?
wow.
Yes,
it
it is.
says that he's behind it.
George Kerr.
Read it again. Read the whole thing, the whole sentence.
Yeah.
Okay. George Kerr. Okay, all right, okay. Well, this must be something that he has on the back burner for you. Maybe that's what it is. But as the professor said, look up Phoebe Snow when you
Yes.
get a chance, and then you can look up Candy State. We had her on the show as well. Candy State. We didn't have Phoebe Snow on. We had Candy State on. Great octaves for young ladies.
Oh, yeah.
Great octaves. And you're right about the ones that you mentioned ahead of time. Whitney Houston and who was the other one?
Brandy.
Who?
Brandy.
Yeah, Brandy.
Yeah, Brandy, but not Brandy. That's not who I'm thinking about.
Barbara Weathers.
No.
Mariah Carey.
Yes, Mariah. Yes, Mariah Carey. Mariah Carey. Excellent. Okay. DD, come on back in if you got something, huh?
Okay. Well, let me see. I don't know. I'm out of it tonight. Okay, I'm really
All right.
out of
Yeah,
it.
the allergies
Okay.
happen, but I got
Yes,
something for you.
these allergies
Okay.
is driving me crazy.
I
I'm
know
sorry,
that
babe.
feeling.
Sorry about that.
I
Okay,
know.
Drew, what you got, babe?
So, but Mr. J, the song is going to be released as a single. Am I correct?
Yes.
Or is it out as a single? Okay. Are you going to be shopping this around to the labels or to overseas? You said you had to move to Thailand, or are you planning on streaming it, or what's the plan there?
I believe it's going to be shopped around overseas. That is where the bigger market is for because you know they don't really have oldies but goodies. You know, it's just goodies. You know, so
Right.
I mean, it is what it is. You know, United States of America, they'll trash it up and then, you know, throw it away and then bring it back and try to dress it up as something new when it's been done already. And then homage sometimes doesn't even get given.
Yep.
But yeah, I believe Mr. Kerr is going to shop it overseas. It will be online for streaming. But this is not going to be the only single that we do together. So
That was my next question. Are you going to be planning any other renditions, covers of the classic songs that you know, like "Ooh Baby Baby"?
Yes, he has me working on one right now. It's a rendition of Me and Mrs. Jones.
Hmm.
So we're working on that now.
Cool. Cool.
And
Sounds
once
interesting.
it's done, I would love for you guys' opinion on it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you plan on performing the song live?
I have to talk with Mr. Kerr about that. To be honest with you, I had stopped doing music in 2017. My daughter, she was having a hard time, and she's, you know, one of the things she stated was that she was having a hard time because I was touring and I was gone so much, and I was not going to let it be. Well, what if I would have just stayed home? Would it have changed anything? You know, I would have rather it be the latter. So I had really stopped doing music for a while. So when Mr. Kerr called me and got a hold of me and asked me to do this track with him, I was a little nervous because I was rusty. I was very rusty. I had started my business already and I was handling things from behind the scenes. I was no longer in the spotlight. You know, I didn't have to put on the eyelashes and the heels and jump off stage. You know, I didn't have to do all these things. So if Mr. Kerr says, you know, that he would like to do some performances, I've already been already doing what I need to do to get my breath support up and, you know, make sure that when I hit the stage, if, you know, that's in the plans, that I don't have to get ready because I'm already ready.
Okay.
So
Okay.
when you recorded it,
Go ahead, Joe.
no, I was going to ask, did you record that in New York or out in Omaha?
No, I recorded it out of Omaha. We have an amazing guy here named Alfonso, and he has Icon One Studio. A lot of great people record here, and we just sent it back to Mr. Kerr. He had somebody, you know, put some final touches on it, and then that was it.
Okay.
He is a master. He's truly a master, but that's for sure. And I'm sure you could get them heels out because he's gonna have you jumping off the stage somewhere. You know what I mean?
By the time he comes, I'll be ready.
Yeah. Okay.
Well,
Professor, come on in. What'd you say, Drew?
No, Ollie, I was going to say to you, all the times that we've had him on our show, he played his cards close to his chest, man. He never really revealed a lot of that. You know, he said he was going to be working with other people, but he didn't describe who, man. So now this is a pleasant surprise and it's a very interesting conversation. You know, it's interesting.
Well, as I said to you last night, one-on-one, and I said it to Leger earlier, that we are in a really unique position that we get George Kerr's music before he lets it out. You know what I'm saying? So us to hear Leger doing this and a new one that's coming up, and the gentleman that's from the Rim Shots that's coming up, we, the Music Lovers Ltd, are in a very, very unique position. This hasn't happened since back in the 50s and the 60s when Motown started. They had the meeting on Monday morning and played a song and they asked, would you buy this type of thing? If we get the chance to put our thumbs up, thumbs down, or whatever on a record before it actually gets out, that's a great thing. That's a really, really good thing. And presently, Leger, it was we love the way you did this song. First thing I tell everybody, it's not Smokey, so you can't go in it with Smokey's ear.
Right.
You have to go in it with an open ear, and you've elongated the song, which makes it even more. It's almost like 2 times as long as the original version. You know, which we're gonna hear that in a little bit. But true, back to your comment. Yes, we're in a very, very interesting position right now as music lovers LTD, you know.
Absolutely.
Professor, you got something real quick or no?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
If you could go back in time and give your younger self one piece of advice about the music industry, what would it be?
Ooh, good question.
Good question.
Oh, that is a good question. Trust yourself more than you trust the people that say they're there to help you.
Wow. Good advice.
Yeah, definitely that.
Say that again, would you please?
I said, trust yourself more than you trust the people that say that they're there to help you.
That's good advice. But here, let me just throw a little monkey wrench in there. That's very, very good advice. And I think my opinion is you have to be seasoned a little bit to make a statement like that and hold by it. Because when you come in new, you don't know who to trust and who not to trust. You know what I'm saying? And you want to get to a certain level. So that becomes a complicated situation. Would you agree or not?
I do agree, but in my situation, there was a lot of times where I felt where it was going. I felt the energy from these people. I heard what they were saying to me, but feeling the energy and feeling the slimy and feeling but you know, in the back of your mind, you're like, but I'm unseasoned, but I don't know. So maybe I should just trust them. And I ended up working with Rainstorm Productions and ended up on somebody's stage with shorts. My booty cheeks was hanging out and my boobs was almost out and hair that was hairsprayed and slicked. It was just a mess. It was a mess. It wasn't me. And had I trusted myself more than I trusted the people that were around me saying that they were there to help me more, they were just there for the dollar. They were there to kind of whore me out, for lack of better terms. And had I trusted myself, I wouldn't have been in a lot of the situations I had been in as a music artist, as a young music artist. I just didn't trust myself.
Okay. That's a good example. That's a very good example that you gave too. Even though this is a double-edged sword, can be cut from both sides.
Yes.
That's very, very good advice that you just gave. Very good advice. I applaud you for that. We're gonna excuse me. I want to say hello to Roger Weaver and the gang that's tuning in on the show, watching us. They're enjoying Leger. Leger, say your name for us again, if you would, please.
It's Leger.
Leger. Am I correct on that?
Yes.
Okay. Now do me a favor. Say it like it's Sunday afternoon and you at the table wanting another piece of chicken. Say it that way.
Well, my real name is Lage. The only thing that changed about it is you capitalize the G, but you still get me. So my real name is Lage, and all I did was capitalize the G. And it's just like, Leger, you want some more chicken, baby?
I told y'all when we got started, she from the ghetto and went French on us. I told you that.
I just dress it up real nice.
There you go. Well, here's what I'd like to do at this particular point in time, and I think that the viewing audience is ready, but we've held them in suspense for so long. I want to play your new rendition of "Ooh Baby Baby," Smokey Robinson song. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to put this on. This is Leger.
Seems hopeless.
See if I can get it up a little bit more.
Trying to play a game blindfolded of chess. What if I told you that
That's not the one I want.
Very nice.
Somebody switched up on me here. Hold on a second.
Nice track.
There we go. There we are.
to pay.
can't stop trying. I can't give up hope, 'cause I feel someday I'll hold you near. Whisper I still love you until that day is here, and I'm crying. Ooh, baby, baby. Ooh, baby, baby. You got me crying. Hey, since you left me, I just don't know what to do, baby. Without you, life just won't be the same. Oh, what am I supposed to do, baby, baby, without you, baby? No, no, baby, baby. Oh, baby, baby, baby. Baby, baby. What am I gonna do, baby? Baby, baby. I'm so lost without you. Baby, baby. Baby, baby.
Alrighty. Let's give her a nice round of applause. Awesome. I really can see. I mean, I'm a big fan of the original version and Smokey and what have you. He came along with that song at a time in our lives when we were growing up, finding out about love and falling in and out of love and all of that kind of stuff there. So it sort of has a special meaning to it. But being that you have already stated that you like hip hop more than anything else, I can see this song appealing to the hip hop crowd. I really can. Simply because it's a newer version, it's a fresher version. And what I like about the song, first of all, your voice is awesome. But what I like about the song the most is the background. The background is really, really full. And that ooh and then the island that they do in there makes the song to me really tough, really tough. So again, I tip my hat and I congratulate you on a really, really good job. Did George allow you, or was this your idea when the break came that you just start filling in with just, sensual words and what have you, oohs and ahs and what have you? Was that you or was that George?
Well, we wanted to make it more full. And there was another rendition of the song that he had me listen to. So I was listening to both of them back to back, and it just made more sense to fill out the track a little bit more. Because like I said, my goal wasn't to be in competition with the original. My goal wasn't to stomp on any toes. I just wanted it to be looked at from a different perspective.
Okay.
So the other rendition that he had me listen to had an elongated version at the end. So I figured it might be just a good idea to just go ahead and do it.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Well, I think you did a great job. I really do. I'm not just blowing smoke. I think you did a great job on the song. And this is a classic tune. And I understand, and I think I've said this over on the air many, many times. Some people don't want to touch a classic. Yes. You know what I'm saying? Because of the feedback and the, what a comeback or whatever the case is. This is nice. This is a nice version. Drew, come on in if you got something.
Yeah, I concur with you, Ollie. I love the way, and I love the way you described stacking voices. I can see it, I can hear it clearly in that track there. Very impressive, I must say. So what? You mentioned going to Thailand. What do you plan to do over there?
Well, like I said, I had stopped doing music for a while. This endeavor is making me, is bringing up a lot of old emotions and a lot of old feelings of being, just being in the studio and being immersed in the music, allowing the creativity to just wash over you, and then hearing, this track being built like, from nothing, like alchemy, if you will, into something beautiful. So I will be, doing more business over there. But if I know Mr. Kerr, and I haven't known him long, if he calls me and wants me to do something, I'm gonna do it.
I'm sure. I'm sure. Yeah,
Absolutely.
I'm sure. Great question,
How long
Drew.
have
Great
you
question. Come on in, Professor.
Can you walk me through your songwriting process? Does the melody come first or the lyrics?
Usually the melody comes first. It's easy for me to just come up with melodies and just stack them easily. The words come later, but I like for the track to speak to me. I like for, to be able to hum along and sing out loud with it, and there not to be any words and just be pure emotion. Then the words come forth. But that's how it works out for me.
Okay.
Interesting. Very interesting. Very interesting. DD, you got a little something?
Now you said you stopped performing. Do you miss it? Miss performing?
I'm not gonna lie, I do. There's been several instances where I've had to get in the studio. Like I said, I have a show called Freeze Frame TV, and in the beginning of every show is a music portion, and I get a lot of the music artists that are around here to be involved in sort of like a music cipher, or if you will. And one of the guys didn't show up, so I had to write something in 3 days. And at first I was stressed out, but as soon as I got back into that studio, and then, I bring all the my artists to Alfonso at Icon One. So every time I go in there, and I keep, I always be like, but I'm not getting back into music. He always gives me this look like,
Okay.
He'll be back. Because I do, I miss it. I miss it immensely. Sometimes I feel like, at this stage in my life and at this age, I should probably just hang it up, but I feel like I'm so good at it.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Leger, if you would talk to me, and I like this, about your creative mission: legacy, liberation, and connection. Talk to me about that. Why you came up with that, and why those 3 words symbolize what you're trying to do in the musical business.
Well, I know that for a few people that I know personally, there are a lot of people in their family who wish they could have had the opportunities to, they've had the talent, but sometimes it ends up being a waste, because sometimes talent isn't enough. Sometimes there needs to be a little bit more than talent to really push, you forward, so that you can leave something that can be, looked at, grown on, and enhanced. And I feel like I'm not going to be, somebody in my family who's going to do I wish I could have, I wish I should have, I very well could have. I'm going to push it. And I've always been that way. If I want something bad enough, I push until I get it. So leaving a legacy of just that alone, tenacity, perseverance, and if you love something, never fully let it go. With my endeavor, with my business, Leger Music Entertainment, we do productions, we do music, we do a lot of different things. We even have live comedy showcases. It's kind of like Omaha's Wildin' Out, but with music artists and comedians. But if you love something, you don't necessarily have to let it go. It can be done in a different way. You just have to. It's all about perspective. So for me, that growth, that legacy, that bag, that, you know, that going forward, that travel, I want that to be something that's remembered. And in my community where I'm at right now, I'm doing that. That's head on. So no matter where you find me at in life, that has always been the standard for what I do.
Okay.
I'm never at a loss for ideas. I'm never at a loss for, you know, making some work. And even though, you know, we all have a jaded past, and even though, you know, I was a hustler back in my day, you know, the hustle, you know, after you have a child and things change, your hustle has to change. Things have to change, but the hustle doesn't have to stop. So for me, no matter what I do, and like I said, no matter where you'll find me at in life, that will always be something that I'm carrying along. And I know for sure my daughter's carrying it. My mother had it. My grandmother had it. You know, I'm just helping it to blossom to where it needs to be.
Okay. Very well said. I think I tip my hat again, and this creative mission here is really awesome. The way you label this out like this is it's really, really nice. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Drew, you had a question?
Go around.
Professor?
What is the most unusual source of inspiration you've ever had for a song?
Oh. Okay, so I did a song called Saucin', and it only came about because a friend of mine was like, you know what? Every song that you have has a meaning, or, you know, some kind of, you know, hidden history lesson, or, you know, some kind of, you know, motivation or anything like that, something like that. Why don't you put out a song that just don't have any meaning? You just dance to it. And I was like, and the crazy thing was, when I tried to write that song, it still came out with a history lesson in it. But the first time she listened to it, she was like, that's what I'm talking about. I love that. Yeah. So then when she listened to it again, she was like, see, you snuck it in there, didn't you?
That's all right.
That was like the weirdest thing I had done, you know, when it came, or weirdest piece of inspiration that had come, you know, to help me, you know, make some music. And it was a pretty good track. I think that one got picked up by Coast to Coast Live. They gave me a singles deal for that one.
Okay. Cool.
Can we hear it on Amazon or anything?
Yes, I believe it's still on Amazon. I believe it's still on Spotify. And it's still on YouTube as well.
Okay. Cool. Well, we're certainly looking forward to this Oooh Baby Baby, seeing how far this is going to travel and take you. We will certainly be supporting that, and I know that if I know George, he's going to put it on as many platforms as he possibly can, and have it aired if he possibly can. But we're wishing you the very, very best on this, and on the new one that's coming up in about 2 weeks or whatever. I don't know if you know, but George let me in on that, if you will. New one's coming up. Yeah, let me in on that. That's coming out, and we're definitely looking to have you back in two categories. One as a performer again, and then the other one as your holistic business. Dee Dee, you got something you want to say?
Nah.
Okay, Drew.
Working with George is a legend, and we all acknowledge that. Is there any other music veteran out there that you would love to get with, to seek advice or any kind of music business abilities?
I always said that if I could get Timbaland, if I could get Dr. Dre, and I could get Kanye West to come and create the sound for an album, and then if I could get what's his name? How did I forget his name? He's one of my favorite artists.
It's okay.
But as far as like album sounds, if I could just get people like that on an album, oh my God, I think that would be Heat boy, especially for like hip hop, R&B type joint. Yes, as far as like the beats and the production, and yes.
How about some of us old school guys? You know, is there any you've already tackled Smokey? Is there any other R&B veteran you would love to work with?
Work with or say or do a track, do one of their tracks.
Either way. Either way.
I would love to cover a Whitney track. I would love. Now, I'm not saying that, you know, I could do what Whitney do, but I think it would be so fun to cover one of her tracks.
Yeah.
You never know until you get out there and do it, babe. You never know.
Right.
Yeah, you never know. Yeah. That's a good question, Joe. Good question. Good
I appreciate
question.
that one.
Yeah, that's a good question. Professor, you got something?
Yep. What's next for you in a whole?
And in a whole, what's next for me is just really trying to further my business when it comes to this production company, because Leger Music Entertainment, I feel like it's very important. It's very needed. Leger Music Entertainment focuses on the mental, physical, and emotional wellness of our Black entertainers, because a lot of times we are not okay. There's a lot of things that are pushed our way that, you know, a lot of us are trying to combat. You know, we don't want to be, you know, what's out here right now. And the more people, you know, kind of push, you know, underground artists who are really about something downwards, you know, it doesn't make for any really good entertainment. So what's next for me is just furthering my endeavors with them. I've hooked up with Nebraska Entertainment Monthly and this new network called T2 Network, and we're going to see how far we can push it. So and then I have my health and holistic business on the side, on the other end, that venture. And I know that's going to keep doing well and keep thriving. So it's just to be a businesswoman and just boss it all the way across the world.
Okay. All right.
Wonderful.
I was going to ask you where it's almost like you're sort of divided to a degree, being an entertainer and then trying to get the holistic business, not trying, but getting that up and moving too. But they both can work hand in hand, especially in this business, in the entertainment business. And you would probably be somewhat of a breakthrough, being a Black female, heading up this to the artists that are here. The artists that Drew and I and the professor and Didi are used to, we came up with at 2 o'clock and at 3 o'clock when the shows were over, we headed for some chicken wings and some wine or some beer. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we're used to. You know what I'm saying? But now coming up with you is sort of a different era. You know what I'm saying? It is a different era, and the things that we did back in the day are not necessarily good for us. They weren't good for us then, but that's what we did. You know what I'm saying?
Go
ahead.
Things are a lot different now when it comes to the food. You know, you can say that you're eating the same foods that you ate, you know, when you were younger, but you're not really. There's so much more that's pumped into it, you know, and it's saturated in. So it really makes it a whole nother ball game. And I try to touch people everywhere. So you're right, because at a lot of my live shows, we cook our vegan food, and at the end I have the cameras just, how did you love the food? How did you love the food? They love it, and they can't tell the difference. My family, they from the South, baby, and if it don't taste good, you know, my flavor card never declines.
Right.
So, you know, if it don't taste good and don't look good, we're not gonna eat it. You know,
right?
Meat eaters is telling me that they can't tell the difference. Then, baby, I'm doing a good job over here.
All right. All right. Kudos to you. What level or what plateau are you trying? It's sort of a silly question, but it's always good to ask the artist because you're going to answer it your way. What level or plateau would you like to attain before saying goodnight to everybody?
Honestly, I would like to be at a point where my company is providing generational wealth for everyone involved, and everyone is set. I would, you know, my goal is to have, you know, a company where, you know, if your daughter wants to be an actress, we have the shows, we have the teachers. If your son wants to be behind the camera and learn how to edit, we have the materials to make that happen. We have babysit, we have daycares, we have for those who need to work but need I want it to be a whole society that just brings generational wealth. You know what I mean? And there's over an overabundance of just ebb and flow.
Okay.
That's where I'm trying to be, and I feel like that's attainable for me.
Okay, interesting. Very, very interesting. That's a great. I mean, there's no wrong answer, if you will, but that's a great answer. A very, very good answer. With the next projects that's coming down, I know you don't know them all. What are you looking to ascertain from the projects that's coming down the pike to you?
Honestly, just enjoyment. Just enjoying the ride, because I really have no expectations for it right now. I feel like I've grown past the wanting to be, the one name Leger across everybody's stage. I want people to enjoy what I do. I want people to, really take what I do and hold it. But I really don't have any expectations other than to just enjoy the ride.
Okay. Well, I would ask you to talk to George and tell George that you want to come to the Philadelphia area and hang out with us for a bit.
Yes, I would love that.
Yeah. He's listening too. He's listening and watching. You know what I mean? So we would love to have you in this area, and I would create a show for you to come and perform, and we would have a good time. Amazing. Yeah, we would have a good time. Yeah, we definitely have a good time. Yeah, that's awesome. We're going to go around and do our closings now. First of all, I'll come back to you in closing. Not Jay, I'm sorry. Drew, would you start us off, please?
Ms. LeJay, thank you so very much for joining us and telling us, about your business and your ventures. It's great talking to you, and an interesting perspective coming from a beautiful sister like you from the Midwest. Thank you so much for the talk.
I had fun.
That's very. I'm gonna piggyback on what Drew said in a few minutes. I mean, a sister from the Midwest. That's the phrase right there. That's definitely the phrase. DD.
Okay.
It was a pleasure talking to you tonight, even though I wasn't my best, but it was nice talking to you and learning about you.
Thank you.
And thank you for joining us this evening.
I enjoyed it.
Professor?
Thank you so much for being with us. This has been interesting, and it is nice to see a young woman out here doing something in this field that doesn't feel, even though you like hip hop the best, but it doesn't feel like vulgar and crazy. That's what it's more positive than anything else.
Thank you.
That is very refreshing.
Thank you, because I really try with that.
Yes. Thank you so much. Much success to you.
Thank you.
And we have to get together about that holistic thing.
Yes.
that is very true to for people like Professor and DD and Drew, myself. The hip hop situation, we came at a different time.
Yes.
So therefore, the hip hop was something new and something foreign to us, if you will. And most of my ears, when I hear it, it is about vulgar. It is about calling women out of their name. It is about a lot of explicit language and what have you. And that doesn't get where it's supposed to get musically. To me, that's just to me, my opinion. But I do appreciate those that take the time to decipher the right wordage, the right phrases to use, and don't downgrade another race of people, another section of people. I appreciate that. I really, really do. That gives me the tendency to listen a little bit longer and a little bit harder as to what the message is. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate that, and I applaud you for it. Piggyback on what Drew said, it is very, very refreshing to see a sister. It is very, very, I'm going to say that again in case somebody didn't hear me. But it's very, very refreshing to see a sister. Maybe somebody had turned away just for a second, so I'm going to say it again. It is very refreshing to see a sister coming from the Midwest doing what you're doing. I appreciate that. I really do appreciate it. Because you remember when I called you, I said, where are you at here in Nebraska?
You said, what are you doing there?
That's what I said. So it is very, very refreshing. And I know I can speak on behalf of everybody here. We wish you all the best on all your endeavors. And George, she wants to come to the Philly area. She definitely wants to come. So maybe make that happen. Leger, please give us your goodbyes or your sentiments or whatever from being on the show.
Yes, I enjoyed this a lot. It's been a while since I have had an interview, for music. And I appreciate it. I really appreciate you guys' perspective and the questions that you guys really asked. It really made me think. Some of those questions were really, really awesome. I appreciate that. And for everybody else out there listening, just go forth and experience life. Let the day enjoy you, You enjoy many, many days. Start letting them enjoy you.
That's very nice. Very well said. Very well said. Ladies and gentlemen, this young lady has graced us with her presence, Miss Leger. And keep in mind, look out for the song that was done originally by Smokey Robinson and the Miracles, but her version, Ooh Baby Baby, and more to come. More to come. We'll let you know about that. Just keep following me on Facebook. Tomorrow, next Friday. Let me go down the lineup. Let's start with tonight. 10 o'clock tonight until 2 a.m. My radio show on WPPM 106.5 FM. Great music. What a great way to start your weekend, huh? Tune in from 10 o'clock tonight till 2 in the morning. Wednesday at 7 o'clock, my TV show, Salt, Pepper, and Memories. My 1-year anniversary will be on tap. Join myself and Lou Costello as we talk about a whole year, my 1-year anniversary on the TV show. Thursday night, rememberthenradio.com from 8 p.m. until 12 midnight. Some of the best oldies that your ears have ever heard. I know that's not proper English, but you know what I'm saying. Back to Friday. Next Friday night, we have the Dynamic Superiors. Their big song was Shoo Shoo Shine from the DC, Baltimore area. That's going to be our guest next week. So tune in, follow me on Facebook. You'll keep abreast of what's going on. We're going to pray for Diane that she feels a little bit better because she normally got a plethora of questions and stuff going on. Tonight, she's a little bit under the weather. You know what I mean? Plus, she didn't have her hair hanging out like she normally does. I look for that hair every Friday night. So we ask everybody to have a great weekend. Be safe. And of course, Leger, thank you so much. We love you dearly, and we hope to see you in this area sometime soon.
Yes, that would be amazing.
All right. On behalf of Music Lovers LTD, everybody have a great weekend. Be safe. Let me get my music on so we can go out of here again. George Kerr, give me a call. I know you're going to do it anyway. Give me a call. Once again, everybody have a great weekend. Be safe. Love you all.